in a Dockerized environment where we will run a Docker container which has the MCP client, and that client will have access to the same Node.js based file system that we saw. Such an example, you won't find it anywhere. So please stay tuned for a few minutes. It's a very short video. So in this demo, we are going to use Agno. Agno has given an MCP example in their repo. So this is the location, MCP, that is Agno Cookbook Tools MCP, and file system. Okay, so in order to run this, you will need to have Node and Python and the dependencies installed on your local system. So in order to simplify this, I have containerized this. So what I have done is I have created a Node container, because this MCP server is a Node.js application. We saw that in Cloud desktop. Okay, so now here, so in the Node.js application, in the Node container, I'm installing Python. Okay, and creating a virtual environment, installing the Python dependencies. Clear? So the dependency has the MCP as well. That is the idea. So we have a single container that has Node and Python. So we can run our Python client and instantiate our Node-based MCP server components. Okay, so now let's look at the file system py. So here you can ignore all the commented section. Those are my experiments and results of those experiments for your information. Okay, so here it runs the agent and says list files. So when we run this Docker container, we are telling it to list files, run agent. So let's look at the run agent. See this? Do you see this? Initialize the MCP server. Is this looking familiar? This is the same code that we have added to the Cloud desktop. Okay. Okay, so we are specifying the server parameters that way. Then we are creating an stdio based client, and that client we are passing the server parameters, so that client knows how to access the MCP server. Things are looking complicated, unnecessarily complicated, but once you know the hello world example that I'm going to show you next, things will become much more simpler. Okay, it is calling the file system agent and then printing the results. So that is it. So let's see if it's able to list files. For that, all you need to do is docker compose up app. That will run this section. See, it is showing allowed directories app. Okay, and it is listing out the files in there. And where do we specify the allowed directories? See here,